I recently wrapped up a teaching gig at Garden of Quilts, and true story, I have to share it with you. I had 4 women, different occasions. They didn't know each other. Literally, our paths had crossed. I didn't know them. They knew me because they had either seen the video or had taken a class, but they came running up to me going, "Oh my gosh, Gerri, marinating your fabric is a game changer. I don't have to trim anymore. It is the best thing that I ever learned from anybody." So I want to share with you that same tip that they were talking about. I call it marinating your fabric. I only do it to my background fabric. One, because I don't have a lot of time to marinate or spray starch all of my fabric. And you know, every quilt, the background fabric is used in every piece. So anyway, and oh, one other thing, don't Google marinating your fabric. It doesn't exist. It's a phrase that I coined because here you go, and here's why. I used to use magic sizing, but for whatever reason, I can't find it anymore. So now my next go-to is Faultless Premium. It gives it just enough body without being too stiff or, you know, give you a paper cut. And I literally start, oh, I'm gonna back up. Here is the other thing. This is 1 yard of fabric. And I bring that as a point because I do get quite a few questions, emails, direct messages saying, well, with all that spray starch that you put on, does the fabric shrink? And in the past, I didn't know because I literally would just cut and spray starch and go. So as you can see, there is not a dry part on this side. And if you see a little bit, then just go back and hit it. And just to keep it easy to get the back side, I just fold it in on itself. And there is no rhyme or reason or method. You do what's easy for you. The important thing is just get it wet. Wet, wet, wet. So this allows me to get the back side, but you get the idea. And if you truly choose to try this, buy a lot. Because for a yard, I am going to use easily a half a can. See how easy that is? You just keep folding it in on itself. And there will be, and just wipe it up. Wipe it up. Open it up. See how wet? It's soaking wet. And if you see any dry spots, they'll show themselves. Just give it a good hit. The key for this, yes, it's wet. I call it marinating because it's wet. Front, back, side, side, top, bottom, it's wet. And then it needs to air dry. What I do is if I know I'm gonna sew the next morning, I do this the night before. I hang it either over my cutting board or over my ironing board. So the next morning when I wake up, it's dry. And then what you do, here's the beauty of filming. You take one that has been marinated the night before, and for those wondering, it shrunk, I'm going to call it a ½ inch, but not quite, it's a aggressive ½ inch. Then you just take it over to your iron on high heat, high steam, and you give it a good press. And if you have any stubborn creases or markings that don't quite iron out, give it a spray. Give it a spray of water. or you can give it a quick shot of spray starch. Truly, you're just trying to get the creases out. Another beautiful thing about filming, so this one has been completely pressed, and you are ready to cut your pieces for your next project. Okay, that is my number one tip, that if there's only one thing that you take away from this is marinating your fabric, I promise you it's a game changer. Okay, the next thing I wanted to share with you, because I have a feeling that there's going to be a little bit of trepidation in some of my designs, and I just want to show you how easy this particular quilt called Pinwheel Staircase. See how you just walk up to a pinwheel? Here is your quick angled rectangle. You have two of them with a half square triangle. Look at this. It's one block. And then you just rotate. And you keep rotating until there, you have a pinwheel. You step right up to your pinwheel. Another tip I want to share with you is nesting. As you can see, right here, you lock them in. They just fit right inside each other. And I first put a pin on either side as an anchor. Oops. And then I come in right behind it. And then I pull that pin, and then I take it and I come in right behind the second pin. And this way, it's going to hold it anchored in place as you stitch your 1/4 inch seam. It does not move. So I cannot wait. I'm most excited, truly, to see what projects you choose from Quilts in Bloom. And the best way for me to see them is please use the following hashtags: hashtag Riley Blake Designs, hashtag Buttercup Blooms, hashtag Quilts in Bloom, and hashtag Planted Seed Designs. I'm waiting, so I can't wait.